This is Morten from Inkish, third day here at LabelExpo in Barcelona, and I am with Mr. Automation himself, Raymondo from Ultimate Tech. Morning, sir.
Hola, Morten.
Oh, so you do it. I can't do it. That's amazing. So, Ray, first and foremost, it's so great to see you again. It's always.
Same.
I think the opportunities of talking to you guys at so many trade shows and so many different places around the world gives a certain bonding between people, right?
Of course. Of course.
But we also here because, I mean, every time you go to a show, you have either something new or you are very tailored to the show that you're coming to. And spoke to Julie just before, and here it's about labels, of course, right?
Of course. Of course.
Before we talk about the product itself, I was just wondering, because you are one of the people that meet customers when you discuss what needs they have, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it becoming extremely complex to talk about Ultimate because you have such a wide portfolio of products?
Actually, no. We're increasing functionalities, features, segments where we help customers to automate, as you know. And labels, digital labels, extended content labels are all things that our customers have been asking for in the same pathway to centralize and automate their production environment, because not all customers are strictly doing labels or on-demand labels. Some will do packaging in longer runs, some will do prototyping packaging. They might also have a segment for commercial printing. So it follows what we've been doing for a long time, centralize the process.
So what you're saying is basically that where I could see it as a disadvantage of having a broad, from a communications perspective, you see it as an advantage because the convergence that also Mark Supers and Printing United have been talking about for a long time, you see that actually happens?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The ability to offer functionalities to help our customers to grow, to bring our knowledge of automation, centralization in production environments to the label space, where we can bring what we've learned in other segments of the print industry, are really beneficial, not only for the customers, but also for us, because it opens up new spaces.
Aren't you sometimes afraid that having a spread like this makes you half good at everything?
No, because we focus on one thing. We place pages, we place objects, we place labels, stickers on media, whether that's paper, plastic, vinyl, or name it. So it's the exact same thing. We just diversify the functionalities to address more segments, more products, more applications with the same foundation, automation.
As I said, this is the third day here at LabelExpo. Can you give examples of people that have come into your booth that have never heard about Ultimate and what their, let's say, aha moment was when you were explaining what you do?
It's all the same thing. Actually, in the label space, it's the same thing that you see in the commercial space, in the transactional space. People want to automate. They are definitely aware that using manual tools to bring labels into paper, into rolls, is time consuming. And like any other space, runs are getting smaller. There's more products that are being ordered. There's these upstream systems with complexities as they see it, with metadata, with XML, with job tickets, and they just want to, get to the point where they can centralize and automate that environment, similar to what they see with their colleagues doing commercial work that have been automated in some cases for over a decade.
But that answers the question, but also just half, because I was just thinking that if you have identified that you want to print, let's say, the personalized or the variable, like Julie also showed, you have realized that you have a specific need, right?
Absolutely.
But then you have to dig directly into explaining how it's done, right?
Yes, it's showing what they're used to. They're seeing labels going on paper, and as you've seen from Julie on the roll, they just want to do this, but do it better. And the explanation is easy. It's about how you set rules and conditions to print on roll or to print on sheet, and it's fairly easy to explain and fairly easy to understand. And it's actually the pain point they have. So all of that comes together. And we've talked to customers we didn't know before, I didn't know before in the label space, but they had the same need. They want to automate, they want to centralize, they want to connect to have an optimum production environment.
Do you think that when you present technology that makes it very easy to do these kind of short runs or mass customized labels, do you think that creates an entirely new market for some of the converters, or?
It opens the space where, with the same resources, the same amount of people, maybe you can diversify your portfolio of products, of applications that you can print. Because in an initial thought, you think that someone will have to prepare the files, will have to do all these things before it's on your media. When you see the automation level, then you can envision growing their business without having to hire more people or to do anything different than investing into software and upstream system that will automate and allow them to print more jobs on equipment they already have.
A few more questions and then we are done for today. Ray, I was just thinking that I mentioned that to Julie as well, that when you buy a printer, especially in the digital space, there's always some kind of some kind of DFE, and it often has some kind of imposition built into it as well. How do you see that change from, let's say that you have invested a shitload of money in something and then you see, oh, it's maybe not obsolete, but you can replace it by something much simpler to use and maybe even cheaper in the long run?
It's a very interesting point because almost all the conversations that I had at LabelExpo is related to this. Customers that are investing into new equipment, whether it's a HP press, a Mark Andy press, whatever is the brand, the manufacturer, all have a different controller, a different tool to prepare the files. And it's the exact same requirement that these customers have. As they buy new equipment, they don't want to have a new workflow solution, a new piece of software to maintain, a new person to train to prepare the files. They want to do the same thing that we just discussed. They want to generate that automatically and have the print-ready files sent to their devices, including embellishment, as you could see on the GM booth, laser cutting. This is all important to have one piece that will centralize and automate everything.
And speaking of automation, I mean, if you should have a good takeaway from a LabelExpo, what can you tell people then?
Labels, label, no, sorry, automation, automation, automation.
Thank you, sir.
As always. Hasta mañana.